Welcome back to the shop. I think I've lost my marbles on this truck. We've gone a little ways here. Let me show you what we got going on. I'll hit it real quick here. This rear end is out of a 79 C30 cab chassis truck. Narrow wheelbase, same wheelbase as the axle that's on here. So the brakes on this one are just trash. The wheel cylinders are junk. Pads needs everything. You know, it's been sitting for how many years. But to get replacement parts for this is astronomically expensive. So I found this, which to get brake replacement parts for this is not. They're cheap. So I actually have all the parts sitting right here already. But what we're gonna do is postpone putting that in, because what I didn't take into account is between the drums is narrower than this, so the leaf springs don't even fit between the drums. So that we're actually gonna postpone until next year. We're gonna hit this in the spring. Probably put a 4-link in and bags probably is what's gonna happen with this. And I can't determine what we're gonna do with the bed wood here until after we get this underneath and different tires on. Still plan on running these wheels hopefully, but we might have to do a different set of wheels. We'll have to see. Bed wood. There is 3 pieces that are actually bolted down. Tank is setting on the mounts. The mounts are complete. This is the main reason I built the plasma table. That's the whole main reason I built the plasma table. So they're actually mounted down. That's screwed to the framework that we built. So that's done and taken care of. Shifter, I know it was hard to see before. I think my video had screwed up. So there's the shifter. Reverse lights and neutral safety switch. I made a bracket underneath the truck that fits. Let me grab flashlight. Not a whole lot going on up here. I did put fluids in. Trying to find stuff that, you know, I had at one point in time, but can't find it anymore. We have a leak on the thermostat. I never took that apart and put a new gasket in, so that's my fault. We got a little bit of a transmission pan leak, but outside of that, same story. The intake tubes themselves, I need to obtain more. You can see an upper radiator hose on there now. I need to obtain different intake setup, so that's fine. Still don't have the lower engine mounts actually bolted tight. I got to get nuts for that. Still trying to figure out how I'm actually going to strap that tank down in that. But gas pedals all mounted up now. And then it does that, of course. Didn't do that all day yesterday, but now it's got to do that. There. It'll be figured out. It'll be fine. We have brake light switch. The gauge cluster here, I just realized last night that I did not finish wiring that in, even though it's already bolted in. Wiring here is all done. The neutral safety switch and a reverse switch I did underneath, and I put relays underneath the truck to hold them in position. So I have, oh, my battery's going dead in my light. Let me put some power to it here. I don't even have the keys in here. They're on the other side of the truck. Like I said, I think this thing's making me lose my mind. Trying to find parts that I know I have in here and I just can't find them. I think I need to get this out here soon and make it so that I'm working on something else and not this. Alright, so we have our oil light, we got voltage, we have main parking lights. Looks like fuel lights unplugged, which is fine because that's actually unplugged. We got tail lights, both sides. We have the front marker lights. We have headlights. If we hit the button down here, now high beams are on. Might not be able to tell much difference, but it kicked in the top bulb there, so high beams are on. Now if we look back there, let me hit the brakes. Brake lights work. Now let me kick it into reverse here, and you can see the reverse lights. There, look at that. Nice bright reverse lights. And we should actually be able to see the license plate light here real quick. There's the license plate light underneath there. So we're good on lights. So we'll kick that back in there. Now, I know not everything's hooked up, but if we, it does crank. All right. Flashers do not work. That, I don't have enough of a load on the flasher relay because the fronts do not work. I think the bulbs are bad. I hope it's just the bulbs, but if it's something more, then it's something more. Fuel pump does work. I just have a fuse out for it right now. That way I can figure out what's going on here and get this taken care of. I do think I need to reset the fuel gauge reading on there. Because yesterday when I had this actually plugged in, it read it was full and it's not. So here, let me plug it in here real quick. Maybe real quick. I'm gonna set you down. All right. So let's see what happens now. See there, it says it's full, and I know it's not. Obviously, we know it's not. So I got to figure out how to reset that, and I know I have the instructions around here somewhere. I just got to find them. I think they were up here. Not anymore if they were. Outside of that, I think I am at a point. I know I don't have the collector gaskets in because don't know where they are. I know they're around here somewhere, but I don't know right now. It's such a disaster. I need to get the truck out so I can get it cleaned. Then I'll be able to find the parts. Like this, I printed one of these. Actually, I printed two of these a month or two ago, and this goes right here where the EGR is. I can't find them, so I printed two more last night. Now that I printed two more, my screen's not working. There. Now that I printed two more, I can't find the gaskets that I had. And I know I had brand new gaskets. They're someplace over there. No idea where. So I gotta find gaskets for that so I can put that in the intake, plug that off. The hose or the belt is too long. I gotta get a shorter belt, but I'm not worried about that right now. My goal, honestly, right now is to make this run and move on its own power. Probably won't stop. Might, probably won't. Run and move on its own power and back it out. Then it's going to sit until next spring when we'll finish it up. And hopefully at that point I will be refreshed on this rig, and we're gonna hit another rig here really hard here real soon. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this done today. I'm shooting for today. I'm shooting for today to at least back it out. So time will tell on that, but I've been pushing, trying to make it happen. All right, I gotta get to work. I think I have figured out how to get the tank mounted. So we started off with a brand new bicycle tube to lay on top of the mount, and then we found some chain. This is actually a tire chain. So that's, I don't think that's going anywhere. This is actually a tire chain. Cut it up, used an extra chain on the back, and have bolts in there for tension. I'll have to get some bigger bolts there. I'll use some grade 8 3/8. Then in the bottom here on both sides I'll use 7/16 grade 8 and lock it down and hope that that does what I want it to do and we don't get any damage. So I'll have to get hardware for that, not a big deal. I did notice that I lifted the tank off to put the rubber straps on, and I ended up tearing my cable out. So now I gotta find that, figure out where my other plug is or my other wire. I see it in there. Now I gotta fix that. Not a big deal, but just adds to it. I got her down on all four now. So, whoop, there's a ladder there. Looking pretty nice again. Can't wait for it to be back on 6, you know. But we're getting there. So, yeah, I'm gonna fix my wiring here for the tank and see if I can find the instructions so I can get that programmed right on the display. So it's reading the right tank right away, and then we're going to go ahead and hook up the fuel lines. At some point we got to go get the hardware to make this all happen here. Still got to tape up this. I did water test this actually last night. I filled it all the way up with water. It didn't appear to have any leaks, so hopefully that's going to be the same with gas. I put a little bit of pressure behind it. We do have a vented tank cap, locking vented tank cap, and I held as best I could the pressure in there, and it didn't seem to leak at all, so that's a plus. On that note, I did figure out that my wonderful Lincoln Ideal Arc TIG 250 is not working right, so I'm gonna blame the welder instead of the weldee, if you know what I mean. Anyway, you push the pedal down, whenever you release the pedal it continues to weld. I've just been constantly having issues with it, so that'll probably end up being out of that corner, and I might take it apart and see if I can figure out what's going on. Otherwise it's going down the road, and we'll see about getting a brand new welder. But on to the next task. Okay, we are someplace. We're actually right there. We are right there. So fuel system's primed for the most part. I don't know about that filter situation, but I'll figure it out. Under here, we're together enough for it to run. Should I move it under its power right now without the engine mounts locked down? Probably not, but you know, time will tell. We'll see what happens. I'll see if I can get some nuts. I mean, yeah, because it likes to slide back and forth. If I remember the tune that's in the ECU correctly, It doesn't require the mass airflow sensor, so that's why I'm not worried about it. It should just be a temp sensor. Got my plug in the intake, so that's solid in there. I found the gasket, so we're golden there. Took me forever to find a gasket. Like I said, got gas in there. Everything in here is pretty much ready to go. We just turn that on. The speedometer works now. I don't have a whole lot of gas in, that's why I'm getting an alarm for that. So everything's looking good. It's getting a GPS signal in here, which is fantastic. But so hopefully there's the lights on. Hopefully we're at a point where we can actually kick the key over. The only problem is right now is I'm just running off that jump pack. So I need to find a battery and get a battery in this thing so I can actually do something with it other than just prime the fuel system. I probably should hook up my computer to it and turn on the fans too and make sure that all that functions, but I can all wait till spring. Main concern right now is making it run, making it move under its own power. So that's what we're after. That's what we're after right now anyway. And we've gotten a long ways since we started this. I checked just actually over the last few days. I didn't realize I've been working on this thing for 2 years now. So it's time to at least make it move under its own power, finish it up in the spring. It's looking actually really nice now. If I close things up, somewhat close it up anyway. Now you sit back and look. And it's sitting pretty nice. So I'm liking the way it's looking now. I like the shorter bed. Should work out really well. So I gotta find a battery and see if we can do something about kicking this thing off. All right, so we have a battery in it. Definitely not the right battery, but it should work. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. Shall we give her a shot? See if it does anything. See if this thing actually is going to happen or not. I haven't tried yet, so I hope it doesn't just go boom. That would suck, but all right. That says we have fuel pressure, and we lost battery. Oh, got it back, maybe. One of our terminals is not happy. Surprise, surprise, I'm not. All right. Pressure. Looking right around 60 pounds oil pressure. Definitely have misfires, but that's all stuff to be worked on. The smell antifreeze, that's okay. Let's see if it revs up a little bit. stuff that we can look into. Let it run. Definitely a misfire. That fuel pump doesn't sound very happy. And that could be an issue too. All right, because I'm guessing we don't have pretty much any fuel left in there, but it runs. So now I need to go to the store, get some hardware, get this all taken care of. And you know what, if worst comes to worst and I can't for some stupid reason get this engine running, because if you remember, this actually had a bad cam in it and I got the engine for stupid cheap. It was like 150 bucks. If worst comes to worst, I'll just take and stick my 6-liter in there. Throw a cam in there and be done with it. But that puts us at a good point. We can at least get it out of the garage today. Hopefully. But I want to get bolts to tighten the gas tank down and then get the ones for the engine mounts, get that all taken care of, and go from there. So we're making progress. It actually runs. This is the first time it's ran in, oh, let's see, this was 83 on the plate. So that's a huge win, even though it didn't move. I don't know if the brakes are going to hold in the front, so I hope they do. They should. Do we dare see if it moves? There's like no pedal there. Oh. Yeah, there's like no pedal there. I don't want to try it right now. We got no RPM signal, which was a problem before as well. We'll figure that out. Something made noise. Okay, well, that was the mass airflow that we don't need. And you know, I could have some stuff messed up in the tune too. And that's fine. We'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world. It runs. We'll see. Hopefully it'll move good enough to back it out, and maybe it'll even stop. But I'm not going to try to move it right now until after I have the garage door open. So, okay, off to the store for some hardware. Well, I think it's that time. I sure hope this goes well. Oh, looks like I gotta move a car. I really am hoping that it can stop at least somewhat. I guess we'll see. Gotta move a car first. And then we'll get this going. Well, here goes nothing. I hope. Hopefully we don't have a whole bunch of problems. Otherwise, we start over. Okay, it's just antifreeze. We've been out. Kind of figured that would happen. Yep, I think I'm out of transmission fluid. Okay, we're gonna try this again, hopefully. Now, on the unfortunate side, it's dark out. But I guess having really, really stupid bright reverse lights might actually help. So, again, we try. Clear, dark. Hopefully this time it actually goes into gear. You could probably see I got a big mess, and as long as this goes right, which I sure hope it does, I'll explain to you after I get back in here what actually is going on. See if we can. All right. See, hopefully, I've already had a dead battery. See if it moves. Well, that didn't go right. Does it move? Hey, it at least moves. It didn't do that before. So now it at least moves in neutral, but it looks like the transmission. Okay. Well, it's unfortunate. It truly is. I don't know if it's actually internal to the transmission or if it's the used torque converter that I put in it. It very well could be the used torque converter, to be honest with you. The problem I was having before, that it wouldn't move. I had the band too tight, so nothing would move. So there's a possibility I might have screwed up the transmission by doing that too. But ultimately, I think what's going to happen now is it's going to get probably pulled outside, unfortunately. Maybe I'll see if I can check the fluid and make sure there's enough. Should have about, I added about 4 quarts, but maybe with the bands being stuck before and now it's different. I don't know. Maybe I'll check that, try to check it, see if I can get it to run long enough to actually check some fluid. Maybe. Well, it is out of the garage. Not under its own power, unfortunately, but when we bring it back in the spring, we'll go ahead and make sure that the transmission's going to be working, the engine's running right, the rear end's bagging, and we'll be driving it. So it will return. Till then, appreciate it much. We're going to be starting a different project here real quick on hopes, faith, and dreams, I think. So see what happens, but appreciate it much. Thank you much. Have a great day, and get out in the garage and do something.